Good morning. I have been recently introduced to 22 rifle and thought I'd build myself a wind flag. And so I'm going to show you the components that I used, and most of it was from material that I already had, although I did have to purchase a couple of items to complete the project. Started out, I had a Silk U9000 tripod that I had used for telescope cameras, and it required the addition of an adapter plate, which you see right here, which allows it to go from a quick release to a thread. Typically they come with a 1/4 20 thread like this, and I had to replace it with a 2-inch long thread. You can see in the bottom with a Phillips head screw, washer both sides, and what you see here is a piece of PVC that's been painted with a 2-inch coupling inserted into the bottom. And the way you secure the 2-inch coupling inside the PVC pipe is the same way you would build a reel and mount it on the rod. You take your 2-inch coupling and start wrapping it with tape until it meets the inside diameter of your pipe, and then you use a 2-part epoxy to glue it in. So now it'll fit as such, snaps in, and you have a tall piece. The flag section consists of wire from one of the real estate signs. That's what you'll see here. I've painted it black on this side with some pinstriping that I had left over, and on red on this side, and I had some adhesive vinyl that I used over top of the board. Here for my balance weight, you'll see a 1/2 inch PVC again, red on one side, black on the other, with a cap. And inside the cap is a heavy screw to allow you to slide and add some additional weight to help balance. Here's the tricky part. On this wire that came off of those real estate signs, you'll see there's a 1-inch nylon sleeve on top of which is a tiny bearing. And this is very important for making certain that you have proper sensitivity to your flag, that bearing. And inside the tube, I also used a rubber stopper that I drilled just to provide some alignment in the case of stronger winds, so that this won't bend out of the way. Right now with a light wind, it's not a problem. The bearing sits right on top of the cap. One tip, do not glue the cap on, because you have a rubber bearing down inside here that you may have to adjust, and it's not necessary to actually glue the cap on. For the board, you may have to use, I used some PVC to glue in the board. You can also use something like Gorilla Glue to keep it secure. We all know about tape. This is about 30 inches long, and this is just a fishing swivel with a couple of clips on the end. The thing that I noticed about it when it was in the wind, it is very sensitive to the direction of the wind, which is important regardless of the intensity of the wind, and the tail will show the intensity of the wind. So the most expensive parts, the ones that I had to buy, were the small bearing and the adapter plate for the U9000. But there it is, homemade wind flag, very sensitive. When you build it, you should be able to blow on it and have it move. That indicates sensitivity, and I'm certain you want it to respond to whatever wind is blowing. That is all.